infrastructure project on behalf of government, focusing on areas such as education, healthcare, and community development. The IDT also plays a key role in the implementation of the government's mass employment program known as the Extended Public Works Program, EPWP. In the recent weeks, I have noted with deep concern and extreme outrage slanderous stories which appear to have been deliberately planted and arranged to defame and tarnish my image, disguised as concern about issues of governance in the IDT. While I draw so much from a maxim by George Bernard Shaw that I quote, "We must always avoid wrestling with wrong people because you both get dirty and the wrong ones like it more," close quote. It is important to open up about the issues in the public interest. I have witnessed an extraordinary endeavor by a media house to advance scrupulous allegations against me and spread falsehood on the actions we have taken on the IDT matters, especially in the previous administration. I will not allow the persistent onslaught and smear which masquerade as journalistic endeavor, sophisticated as it may appear, to blackmail us. When closely inspected, it is an escalated, long-standing battle for the soul of the IDT with hidden private and business interest. While we will fight against any form of corruption and we will not shield anyone implicated, we will also fight the agenda to capture and liquidate the IDT so that it is not diverted from its core mandate of delivering social infrastructure and empowering the poor in favor of big business interest. I see it as unfortunate that a media house has joined the chorus that seek to present a false narrative that trivializes the work of the previous government or previous administration, but appropriate other gains achieved during the same period to others, especially those who are now in the seventh administration. I warn against this unpleasant tendency during the debate in the State of the Nation's address. The seventh administration is building on the work of the previous administrations, and this is a continuation of the work. Members of the media will be aware of matters relating to the appointment of the CEO of the IDT and the series of media articles that have followed thereafter. I recently received a set of 24 questions which I responded to and will be attached to this media statement. I will provide the questions and the answers that I provided. After my initial response, I received another set of questions which I also duly honored and responded to in detail. However, my responses were deliberately distorted, misleading, and trying to advance a sponsored narrative that I misconducted myself in the process that led to the appointment of the CEO of the IDT. In this instance, no fact could be allowed to stand in the way of a good story, as this would defeat the primary intention to demonize me, turn the public opinion against me, and eventually turn the public opinion against my political party, the African National Congress. I'm deeply saddened that this respectable media house has willfully misled, manipulated facts, and distorted information to honor its bargain in this passionate crusade against me. I wish to present the following facts on all matters that led to the appointment of the CEO of the IDT. When I was appointed as the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure in 2023, the memorandum of appointment of the CEO had already been processed by the board that I found, and that memorandum had the concurrence, it has received the concurrence of my predecessor at that time, Minister Patricia de Lille. The recommendation to appoint Ms. Tebogo Malaka as the CEO had already been presented to the cabinet for final processing. As the new minister, I decided to withdraw the matter to do due diligence, and secondly, because of the issues that were emerging at the time in the entity. Also informing my decision to withdraw the matter were allegations relating to the office lease at the IDT. I must also mention that the office lease allegations were in public domain long before my arrival in the department. I am the first minister, and I must say this categorically, I am the first minister to task the board of the IDT to investigate the matter of the lease of the office and to give a report after 6 months. Instead, the IDT board got plunged by challenges and infighting among board members, which defocused the entity from its primary mandate of delivering social infrastructure to communities, but it also defocused them even from the task I gave them to investigate this matter. There was serious concern on the governance affairs of the IDT, and despite numerous attempts to assist from the department, there was little improvement. As the minister at that time, I held a number of meetings to refocus the board to its governance and judicial oversight that they had to perform. These efforts to focus the board on governance issues did not yield expected result. It was against this background that, as the then minister, in line with my oversight responsibilities, I wrote to the board and requested explanation and representation from all board members over the series of lapses in the management in the IDT. I must say, I requested an explanation from all of them as to why there are issues that destabilize the entities and why they should be kept. I wish to state that the board, the IDT board, during the tenure of board chairperson Mrs. Zimbini Hills, was tasked by myself as the minister at the time to investigate the matter of the office lease. I put the process of the appointment of the CEO in abeyance for, among other reasons, the need to give the board time to conduct investigations on allegations that were in the public domain. The following board members were responsible for the appointment of the CEO, Ms. Malaka. They appointed her as the acting CEO from 2021 and later interviewed and facilitated her permanent appointment in 2023 before my arrival. The chairperson in 2023 was Ms. Zimbini Hills, and the board recommendation of this board that I requested Cabinet to keep in abeyance to allow the investigation. This board was composed of the following: Ms. Zimbini Hills, who initially was the deputy chairperson and later became the chairperson and resigned in October 2023. Mr. Timothy Sukazi, ministerial appointee, who resigned in June 2023. Dr. Michael Sycliffe, ministerial appointee, who resigned in June 2023. Ms. Lerato Kumalo, who resigned in October 2023. Professor Raymond Nkado, who resigned in October 2023. Ms. Karabo Sila, Ms. Prudence Mkwanazi, Mr. Mpilo Mbambisa, Ms. Christian Sudev, Advocate Lufuno Nefondwe, Ms. Rehana Parker, and Ms. Tebuho Malaka, who initially was the chair and later became the acting CEO. So for ease of reference, I wish to draw the following chronological events. The first, around February-March 2023, the then Minister, Honorable Patricia de Lille, submitted a recommendation of the appointment of the CEO to the Cabinet. In March 2023, Sihle Zikalala was appointed to lead the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure as the minister. In April 2023, Minister Zikalala withdrew the submission of the appointment of the CEO in the Cabinet and put it in abeyance pending a full investigation due to issues that were arising about the IDT, including the office lease. The board, led by Ms. Zimbini Hills as the chairperson, was given 6 months to complete the investigation. Instead, the board got submerged in perpetual internal conflict. They fought over the approach to investigate, and others contacted the Treasury to conduct investigation, and others deemed the process flawed. Then, as the minister, I called the board for accountability, and the board got into internal action once more. Requests also were made to the minister to fire some members. Following that infighting and dysfunctionality of the board, in early October 2023, as the then minister, I wrote to all members of the board to make representation as to why they should not be removed for failure to perform fiduciary oversight on the IDT. Also, in the 3 board members responded by resignation some board members made representation. In the process, having looked on presentations from other board members, we undertook the process to fill vacancies on the board with the hope to stabilize the board. On the 3rd November 2023, the new board was constituted and held its meetings. On the 5th December 2023, the department received a request to investigate this matter from the new board. In March 2024, the investigation report by the department was concluded and given to the board. The recommendation and the report was shared by internal audit with the Risk and Governance branch, wherein the Anti-Corruption Unit is located. The internal audit report recommended deeper investigations by the Anti-Corruption Unit in the department. On the 12th of July 2024, I gave the handover report to the minister. He is the Honorable Dean McPherson. On the 16th of July 2024, I met with the minister at our Cape Town offices, wherein I presented the report, the handover report in detail. The purpose was to facilitate a smooth handover and to appraise the minister on the state of the department and highlight issues that required follow-up and those that needed urgent attention. Maybe let me also just delve on this issue. I've been in the executive. I was once an MEC for Economic Development, Tourism, and Environmental Affairs. I was once a premier. I was once an MEC for Copta in KwaZulu-Natal. In few occasions where after appointment, I would get a handover report. When I became a Minister for Public Works, Honorable Delil gave me a handover report that was giving an overview. I think it was like 13 pages or so. And I appreciate her for giving me that report. But I must say in this case, I gave to Minister McPherson 33-page handover report, which included, among others, this matter. As all of these matters were unfolding, I, on the sidelines, faced a legal challenge by the then acting CEO, who had initiated a grievance on the outcome of the permanent appointment of the CEO. Before me, there was no report with any verdict or adverse finding against the acting CEO, who had already been recommended to be the CEO before I kept the processes in abeyance for almost a year. There is no report or no concluded investigation by the board or any other body of the state against the appointment of the CEO that was presented before me as the minister then. Even the much talked about Treasury investigation, I have never seen it or its site, nor was I informed of its conclusion. Nobody even ever requested a meeting with me to present that report from the Treasury. It remained a board member, and the board, as I understand, it kept fighting and turning against its own decisions. The only available report was the one done by the Department Internal Audit Unit, and that report recommended a deeper investigation by the Auditor General. Secondly, that report, the DPWI Anti-Corruption Unit, was tasked to further get deeper and investigate the matter. All of these processes arises from the actions I took and implemented. I granted the concurrence letter in a similar manner as my predecessor had done. The difference is that my process was not in haste and attempted to deal with the investigation. I will share with you the internal investigation report, and I understand the anti-corruption unit report arising from the internal audit recommendation is completed. This report, I believe, is with the accounting officer or the executive authority in the department. These reports are from a process initiated by myself under the 6th administration. There is deliberate concocted interpretation designed to create an impression in public mind that there was a mischievous dealings that happened under my tenure in the department, leading to the appointment of the CEO of the IDT. The truth is that the CEO was recommended and deemed suitable through a proper public process by the board that was led at that time by Ms. Zimbini Hills as the chairperson. I must emphasize that this was prior to my arrival in the department. The appointment went to cabinet with a concurrence letter of the then minister. What baffles us is why the concurrence of Minister Zikalala becomes an issue when at least it was done after some measures of due diligence effort. I wish to state that these matters were being processed. No one knew what was to be the outcome of the general elections that were forthcoming. The government of national unity was not even in the lexicon of our discourse. In any event, the work of government does not stop because there are elections. In our system of democracy, an administration hand over to the subsequent one. But once the minister was appointed, I gave a handover report which, among others, outlined that there was a pending investigation in the IDT. I note with deep concern false insinuation regarding my conduct and actions, especially on the matter relating to IDT CEO appointment, which does not reflect the truth from this one of the media house. There are undertones of an attempt at political smear campaign intended to undermine and discredit my reputation through false narratives. There is no investigation that was ever squashed. All investigations that were requested by the board to pursue because of it, that I requested the board to pursue, were frustrated because of it contaminated processes and those had to be undertaken now under the 7th administration. Having looked on all of these questions and the smear campaign, I have therefore resolved to subject this matter to the public protector for a thorough investigation. This will assist so that the truth is exposed and we avoid narratives that are laced with innuendos and speculation. In all my public life, I have never and will never attempt to escape public scrutiny and inquiry. Equally, we must protect journalism from some unaccepted behavior and abuse by those who serve and control media platforms. As you will notice from the document I will hand over, my responses to this media house were not properly reflected, but when they gave their public report, they quoted selectively out of context and largely presented to maliciously comply with the requirements of fair and objective journalism. I do hope the media house is not an instrument in the hands of some powerful people and is not weaponized against us. Media freedom goes with ethical journalism, and we cannot allow few journalists to become battalions in pursuit of nefarious agendas. I support every effort to build credibility and effectiveness in all organs of the state, including IDT. But I cannot accept a smear campaign just to be sustained. And I do so also for record, so that in future, no one will just run campaigns, smear campaigns against other people. As I conclude, my commitment has and always remain to serve with integrity, transparency, and accountability. I'm today giving you every document in my possession regarding processes leading to the appointment of the CEO of IDT. Those who have followed my style of leadership in governance or in government will know that I do not hide issues. I am making available to you the internal audit report. I'm aware that the second deeper investigation report has been concluded as per my internal audit recommendations. And therefore, it is a task of the 7th administration to finalize that report, and the 7th administration, for which I am not an executive authority but a deputy. If I had it with me, I would have made it public, and you would not need even to use a prior processes to get that report. I would have just published it. I have done so on many investigations in my tenure as MEC and Premier, in the interest of public accountability and transparency. All forensic reports were made public in all departments that I led. The report that I will hand over today to the media as a whole will include the investigation conducted by us through our internal audit, which recommended the deeper investigation and that the Auditor General be involved in investigating the matter. I will also make available all questions posed to me and responses that I gave on those questions. I will also make available the legal opinion obtained by the IDT before finalizing the appointment. The handover report, I will also make available to the public the handover report which I gave to the Minister, the Honorable Minister Dean McPherson, which I gave him to facilitate a smooth transition of the government from one administration to the other. I wish once again to thank all of you for your attendance. I thank you.
Thank you, Kuzani. Books, please come. Colleagues, we will now afford our colleagues, media colleagues, both here and those that are on the platform, to pose questions to the Deputy Minister, Mr. Zikalala. If you raise a question, kindly indicate your name and your media outlet. Thank you, colleagues. I will take the questions, the first round. Yes, ma'am, at the back.
Hi, my name is Azara Karim. I'm an investigative journalist with Amabungane. Thanks so much, Deputy Minister. I have a couple of questions. As Minister, during the time that National Treasury was commissioned, you knew full well that National Treasury had been commissioned by the board because they had been keeping you updated all along about their efforts to investigate these allegations against the CEO and the procurement of the lease. So why, when your comrade, Mshengu, was appointed chairperson, was the port of call not to mandate or pass a board resolution to mandate that Treasury investigation if you say that there is contamination of the process? Why, when this issue was already being investigated by an independent third party, was the port of call not to regularize that, essentially? And why did you not, or rather, did you question the board on why they cancelled Treasury's mandate? Secondly, you said that you had previously held Malaka's appointment back, pending a full investigation into the allegations against her. We've shown that those investigations never happened. We've shown that Treasury's mandate was cancelled, and we've shown that the only investigation that you commissioned your department to do was an assurance audit only into the procurement process. And this was an approach that was approved by yourself and the board. So why is there now a third investigation and a fourth investigation with the public protector? Why not simply mandate your anti-corruption unit to investigate the full extent of all the allegations? That actually led to you then writing the letter to the IDT board, saying that your investigation had found no wrongdoing against Malaka. We've shown that that's not true. Do you believe that you did, as Minister, all the due diligence that you could have done in your power to ensure that those allegations against her were investigated?
Thank you. Still continue.
Sorry, last one. In the letter to the IDT, you ended it, which is in our article, which you can see on Amabungane. You ended it by saying that you endorsed Malaka and that you've submitted her appointment for cabinet approval. Did that happen?
Thank you, ma'am. Another question? Yes. Is your hand up, ma'am?
Yes. Thank you very much, Conita Hunter from Newsroom Africa. Can the Deputy Minister please just explain in terms of the Treasury investigation, What did you know about it, and can you confirm that there was the investigation that was conducted that you referred to was not the full range of the allegation? Because that's really what's in jeopardy or in question here, was that it was a narrow investigation done internally, and to extrapolate on that, it was an investigation set up to actually clear the chair or the CEO. So please, can you just zoom in on those two particular matters? Thank you.
Any other question, colleagues? I can't see any hand. Kuzen.
No, thanks, colleagues. First question, the National Treasury investigation. No one ever told me that a National Treasury to investigate the matter. My understanding was that IDT at the time was investigating the matter. They came to the department and requested to use the panel of the department to investigate for them. They couldn't get their assistance at that time, either because the panel was either expired or what, but they went back and said they will investigate on their own. That they appointed the Treasury to investigate was a report sent to me, and I never cancelled or appointed anyone from Treasury. And I have never been called by Treasury, just to be brief, to say, this entity has written to us or we are investigating it. Why Mshengu, my comrade? I think that reference is unfair. I must deal with it. In the board that I have found, there were a number of people that I had worked with, respected individuals. Mr. Sukazi, I know him before. Dr. Sycliffe, I've known him before I became a minister. And I believe it, therefore, would be unfair to say you have your comrade. All of these were my comrade, including some of these others you don't mention. I've never heard anyone cancelling the investigation. But what I know is that IDT referred the matter to us as the department for further investigation. When we investigated the matter, internally, we concluded the internal audit concluded on two issues. One, the anti-corruption unit must investigate the matter. The anti-corruption unit must investigate the matter. That was a decision. The second decision was the accounting officer should refer the matter to what? Auditor General to investigate it. So I don't know of the first, the third. I know of the requested investigation by the IDT, which we did and recommended the two. If Treasury investigated, they never engage us on their investigation. The third investigation, or the fourth that you are suggesting, of the public protector, I think you are not capturing and understanding what I'm saying. I can't deal with the matter now. I'm a deputy minister. The minister, I will expect that he will get a report from anti-corruption unit and then pursue the matter, because the matter has never been concluded. We have never said this matter is closed. Throughout my tenure, I said the matter must be investigated. had I done the due diligence, I did due diligence on the process conducted by the then board on the appointment of the CEO. And before myself, Minister Sihle had even conducted a due diligence on whether it was correct for someone who had been the chairperson to be appointed as the CEO. And that was done by Minister Sihle. And that due diligence is there. Now, what you really don't understand is what I'm intending. I'm not calling for investigation by public protector on the matter of the lease. The lease must still be investigated. One, investigated through the process of the anti-corruption unit in the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. And my understanding is that that report is completed. It is there in the department. And I would wonder why you are not asking for the report. That was long concluded. It is getting there. It has been there for months now. You have not asked for it, but you are asking for pre-processes, yet there is a stage now. You should be asking, what is the content of this report? And I have said it that I can't speak about the report because I know that the unit I tasked had investigated the report. Before they could hand over the report to me, there were elections, and there was a new minister. I gave a new minister a handover report. I said, Minister, there is a pending investigation. The pending investigation is with the internal anti-corruption unit. Now, why? I'm not saying public protector should investigate the lease. My request to public protector is to investigate my conduct, whether I have acted, I have committed any misconduct as this media house is alleging. And I believe it is for this media house to go to the public protector, because within 24 hours, I would have submitted all documents to her. It is for this media house to go to the public protector and say, Sihle Zikalala conducted a misconduct here and here. I will hand over public all documents that were processed under my tenure, and then publicly and to the public protector. So the investigation I'm asking is not just about the lease. The lease should continue to be investigated. The minister must get that report, which I believe for months have been given to the accounting officer and maybe the executive authority. I don't know. That is the anti-corruption report within the department. It is there, I'm told. I can't act on it as a deputy. I can't go and ask for something that is there, yet it is meant for an accounting officer. Had I conducted due diligence, I responded to that. Did I write? I concurred with the appointment because the matter was already in cabinet. I then wrote to the cabinet secretary. The matter had already been in cabinet. I said, in the cabinet, no one said we object, but we requested to withdraw it to process due diligence. Treasury investigation, Ms. Hunter, Newsroom Africa. It was never brought to me. I've never been asked by any official or anyone from Treasury that they want to investigate or they want to give me a report on this matter. I was never requested. So the internal process was not meant to clear the chair. No. Even today, I can say we have not reached that decision. I left being a minister having not reached that decision. The decision that was in place was that there must be an investigation by the anti-corruption unit. And that report, I repeat once more, it is available. It is with officials in the department, I've been told. Secondly, we said the matter must be sent to the AG. So it has not been concluded. And to allege that there was a cover-up will be unfair. And that's why I say the public protector must investigate my conduct in that regard, in the allegations that are made against me. I'm not saying must investigate the media report. There are allegations that I tried to suppress the investigation. And the public protector needs to investigate that question, whether I tried or not. And that's why I'm making available all documents that I wrote and the report that were given to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Deputy Minister. Force of habit, colleagues. I understand that there are questions on the other platform. Vanessa from GCIS will read those questions. Colleague?
Thank you. We have questions from Simon Nair from Inside Politics. Yes, 3 questions. During your tenure as minister, were you aware of allegations that Mrs. Hill's master's degree was fraudulent? And did you institute any investigation into this? The second question, was this matter also included in the handover report to the incoming Minister Dean McPherson? The last question, what is your take on Hill coming back on the board as chairperson after she resigned before you could relieve her of her duties? Thank you.
Vanessa, is that the only question? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Who's the name?
No. No, thanks. Firstly, when I came in, already Mrs. Hills was the chair. And when I came in, I don't normally go back and say, who is this, who is this? I work with the board, including Mrs. Hills. With regard to the qualifications that she claimed to have, that qualifications, I couldn't deal with that matter because she had already been appointed. I dealt with appointments that followed. Those who were appointed after I came in. We replaced 2 members, but we went public, we advertised. We screened qualifications. Just to appoint 2 people. We screened qualifications, and we then appointed. If someone misrepresented qualification, that would not be my issue. I must say, I hear this matter in the portfolio committee being raised, and I think in the last portfolio committee I wasn't there, and I'm told it was raised again, and Ms. Hills promised that she will provide her qualifications. So it is not for me to engage on that. What is my take on her appointment? Her appointment, if it was done through due processes that I expected, that would be fine. I have no gripe with anyone being reappointed if she qualifies to be appointed. So it is not my matter. I haven't been involved in the appointment of them in the board, and therefore I will not express any opinion on that. Thank you.
Thank you, DM. Colleagues, thank you very much for your attendance. That concludes the question and answer session. We shall distribute the information that the DM has spoken about and offered to give to the media. Thank you very much for your availability. We will take your email addresses, please, those that we don't have, so that you can get the required documentation.